Okay, welcome to Pilates for Kids. I thought I'd do a 5-minute short video just about what Pilates is, just to give you a little bit more understanding if you haven't got any idea what Pilates is. Lots of you will obviously know what Pilates is, and everyone often thinks, oh, Pilates is great for the core and it strengthens the abdominals. Well, yes, it does primarily do that, but there's a lot more to it than that. So I thought I'd just give you a basic understanding. So first of all, who developed Pilates? Well, it was obviously Joseph Pilates back in the last century, early last century. And he developed 34 exercises, which is mat-based, and then there was obviously lots and lots more exercises using the apparatus that he developed. And primarily with Pilates for kids, with myself and Leo, it'll be all mat-based stuff, trying to make it as fun as challenging as possible, which obviously mums and dads, parents, carers, etc. can all join in and do the session with you. You definitely want a mat before you start these little exercise classes, and somewhere comfortable to lie down. Shouldn't be a slippy floor. If it is a floor, then you work bare feet on it. And again, like any exercise class you do, you should be aware if you've got anything unsuitable, if you have any injuries, or particularly for children, if they have any hypermobility of, for example, the shoulder or the elbow joint or the knees, they should avoid doing any big stretches or movements which could exacerbate the problem. So that's well worth thinking about. So Joseph Pilates designed a load of movements, and he developed a series of principles, which I'll talk with you about them now. The principles which what I want the children to think about when they do it. Some of them they won't register, some of them will do, and adults again you can explain them with them. So one of the principles he developed was breathing. So the breathing in Pilates, in simple terms, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth, and its idea is there is a degree of relaxation. We also breathe laterally into our thoracic rib cage, and it's that smooth in and out, it's controlled breathing, and this breathing helps when you do the movements. It's very hard to explain, but it takes some degree of practice to do that. And for example, often Pilates, when the movement is more challenging, you would breathe out. So if you were to do an abdominal curl, because of gravity, as we lift our head and body up, the abdominals will tighten and it's harder work. So I would teach you breathe out and you breathe in as you lower. That's simple as that. So let's move on now. And we've spoken about breathing, go on to concentration. Like most things, you need to give 100% divided attention to the movements. The more you concentrate on the movement, the better your Pilates will become, and you'll see the benefits as well. Control. You must be in control of the body when it's doing the movement. You'll get so much more out of Pilates when you're in control. So if you're doing an abdominal curl, which I'll just show you, you need to be in control. You need to be able to keep your feet from moving. You need to be able to support the head, and the only thing you want to do is focus on breathing out and feeling here, working. There's nothing else to do. The control you need is to focus on relaxing the body, breathing out, and enabling some gentle work around here. If there's no control on this and you're rushing it and you're not really thinking about it, then you won't get the benefits of this exercise. Okay, so we'll go on to the flow now. He taught the 34 movements, or whichever route you go down in terms of looking at the exercises, and all Pilates exercise should flow from one exercise to another, so it's a nice progressive movement from start to finish, and a good teacher will always provide that. It is going to be harder with children because their attention span is less, and often they find it difficult to go from one to another, but this is obviously something over time that they'll get used to. And then we look at precision. We want people that do Pilates to be precise with their movements and perfect them. We're not here to do lots and lots and lots of repetitions. We're only here to do a small amount of repetitions, but those, for example, those 6 repetitions that you do for any movement, or 8 or 10, whichever I prescribe, you do it with precision and to perfect the exercise, and that takes a long time to perfect. I'm still very much learning this principle, because I know from when I first started to now I've improved a lot. This is over 10 years, but I've still got a long way to learn, so never think that you can do the exercise perfect. There's always a little bit more to learn. And then we've got centering, probably the hardest one I think to understand. If you think, he defined it as the powerhouse, Joseph Pilates. If you think of your abdominals, your lower back, your upper back, your hips, your inner thighs and your glute muscles, that's primarily what we want to focus on working as a unit, an individual. We also of course work on using the limbs as well, but that's probably the hardest thing for children to understand. And when I'm teaching, I shall give them basic tips, not too much information, but this is aimed at more adults, but obviously feel free for the children to have a look as well at this. And then obviously, why do Pilates for kids? Well, one thing I've noticed from teaching Leo, just this probably last couple of weeks, is that he's like me, his concentration span is less. So for example, if I'm doing other stuff, I have a concentration span a lot less than some adults on there. When I'm teaching Pilates, I'm able to focus for that 45 minutes to an hour, and when we do a children's class, it's only going to be anywhere from 20 to 25, 30 minutes maximum. And I found that teaching after about 25 minutes, that's enough for Leo, and we finished the class. But his breathing and his concentration is really improving. I can't say whether that's going to help his schoolwork. The thing I notice is though that he does enjoy the session, he finds it fun, and he's getting something out of it. What I've seen him do is concentrate hugely, and his movement's already starting to improve just after perhaps 4 sessions of 30 minutes with me and then doing the videos. So the benefits, well, Pilates aims at lengthening, strengthening the muscles, the joints, relaxation, improve concentration. There's lots of other things that we can't quantify. What do I get out of Pilates? Why did I take Pilates up? Because I was injured 13, 14 years ago when I did triathlon. I just got loads of injuries, and my mum said, do Pilates, see how you get on. I did it, and then I suddenly became massively into it, and then I decided to become a teacher, and I've just grown the movements and my experience from then. And I've still got a lot to learn, but I thought, well, let's put this onto my children and let's see how they respond to it. And I thought, well, let's actually do a YouTube channel and see if kids get something out of it while we're in this lockdown. And that's basically how I did it. And I think, you know, when I bring Leo back on the video, I will stay at the start of the video. Leo, what do you enjoy about Pilates? And we'll see what he says. He can't be here today because he's at school. And I'm trying to think of anything else about Pilates before you do the session. The only thing is, guys, is to do the session, see what you get out of it. Pilates, I always say, everyone can try it, but not everyone enjoys it, not everyone wants to get to do it. For me, it's only part of the jigsaw of fitness. I'm a cyclist, so I love cycling. Pilates is not an aerobic exercise. For me, I look at Pilates as reducing any potential risk of getting injury, keeping me flexible in my spine, and feeling a sense of well-being, relaxation and focus when I do the exercise, teaching to people and myself as well. So that's why I do Pilates. It helps with my sport, it helps with day-to-day stuff such as picking heavy stuff up in the garden, so it's quite functional movement as well. And the only thing to do is have a session on it, see how you get on. If you've got anything you don't understand or want to know, Google Joseph Pilates, look at his philosophy, and he's a very interesting man he was, and quite a sort of groundbreaking with his ideas as well and what he develops now. And then if you want to ask anything, just email me, ben@inspiredpersonaltraining.com, and if I can answer it, I can. If you're unsure whether you should do Pilates, you have an injury, best thing to do is ask your doctor, ask a physio or an osteopath or chiropractor, get referred, and then you can let me know. Okay, so any questions, just email me. Okay, have a nice day.